Are Germany's Nazi demons back? Are right-wing ideas dredging up the same spirits which darkened its last century? And are they threatening this one in these picture-perfect towns and villages? We're driving through the state of Thuringia in what was the former East Germany. We're meeting a man called Tommy Frank. He's a local councillor, and his restaurant's well known on the neo-Nazi scene.
Dann gehen wir rein, oder?
Wenn Sie möchten.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Diana.
Benjamin.
And this is something you sell in your shop,
Yes, of course.
which is Hitler Schnitzel.
No. There is nothing with Hitler.
Right. Legally, there isn't anything with Hitler.
No, there's nothing. I don't know what you see there, but there's nothing with Hitler.
And this place feels to me, and I haven't even seen your clothes yet, but it feels like a shrine to the Third Reich.
Oh, really? That's from the World War I, and there's a couple of culture things like Odin and Thor and Irminsul.
True.
So the Valhalla from Regensburg.
True Aryan aggression on the pillows.
That's a brand. Not my brand, it's the other brand, and nice pillows.
So, I mean, this clearly says, I love Hitler, and 88 is known to be a number that represents Hitler and the Third Reich. Are you saying that doesn't say Hitler?
I didn't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
You could have chosen other letters.
Ja, ein H, ein T, ein L und ein R.
You could have chosen Germany. It could have been Deutschland.
It's Germany Frank's worried about, the erosion of German identity, threatened as he sees it by mass immigration.
Diese ganze maßlose Masseneinwanderung, die hier nach Europa passiert. Wir lösen ja die Probleme der Welt nicht, indem wir jeden nach Europa reinholen. In der ehemaligen DDR, es war zwar kommunistisch, aber trotzdem noch national. Es war heimatbewusst hier alles. Und im Westen drüben hat man das komplett alles ausgelöscht mit den 68ern, hier noch nicht ganz. Und die Leute, die haben das halt immer noch, das brodelt so innerlich bei den ganzen Leuten überall. Und irgendwann kommt das wieder raus.
And he's right about that. The mood, especially in the East, is turning. A backlash against the German Chancellor Angela Merkel's decision in 2015 to open the borders to more than 1 million refugees. We'll manage this, she said then. But many people feel that Germany isn't managing, and they share Frank's views on immigration, if little else.
Are you proud of what Nazi Germany achieved?
The thing is, we can't talk in Germany about this time because it's forbidden. If I talk with you over this time, what I think, then I go in the jail. So I can't talk with you about this time. So all about 33 to 45, we can talk.
Because your views are illegal.
Yeah, it's illegal.
Germany has tough laws on hate speech because of its Nazi past. But laws don't change attitudes, and attitudes are hardening, and with them people's readiness to bend the rules. This is Kärnten, in the next-door state of Saxony-Anhalt. Last month, a German man died here after a fight with 2 Afghan asylum seekers. The police say he had a pre-existing heart condition, but that hasn't stopped the far right from rallying. The eagle of the Third Reich, the black sun tattoo, Aryan hope. These men aren't ashamed to show what they stand for. I'm proud to be a Nazi, I'm proud to be a patriot, I'm proud to be German, he says. This is David Köckert. He's called for a cleansing of the streets.
Wenn man tagtäglich erleben muss, was hier für Taten begangen werden und meistens ja von Nichtdeutschen gegen Deutsche, dann sieht man das schon so, dass es mittlerweile zu einem Rassenkrieg hochschaukelt. Sieht man an den ganzen Messerattentaten, was hier halt tagtäglich passiert, natürlich. Und dann sind meistens deutsche Opfer, natürlich.
But when you say an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, Augen für Auge, Zahne für Zahne, das ist doch ein Aufruf zur Gewalt, nicht?
Nö,
That's a
nicht.
call for violence.
Wenn Sie das so sehen, kann man sicherlich assoziieren, wie man möchte. Wenn derjenige sich dadurch angesprochen fühlt, weiß ich ja nicht. Aber schlussendlich ist es ja ein biblischer Vers und ist ja aus der Bibel, nicht wahr?
The mood here is aggressive, especially towards us. And there's the implicit threat of xenophobic violence, even in the text on this cross. 4 interchangeable words: German victims, foreign criminals, or the other way round.
Gibt es nicht auch deutsche Täter und fremde Opfer?
Die gibt es auch, kann man frei interpretieren, wie man möchte.
Aha, und Ihre Interpretation?
Mein Bewährungshelfer hat mir leider verboten, mit ihm zu sprechen.
The neo-Nazi fringe have been around for decades, but incidents like the one in Curtin and in Chemnitz a few weeks before have stirred up their ranks. Chemnitz was a watershed moment. A week of protest after a German citizen was stabbed to death in a fight with 2 asylum seekers. Straight away, the extreme right rallied, but thousands of concerned citizens came out too, angry at the government's policies on migration, angry that they should feel unsafe on their streets, and angry at what they called the lying press for refusing to hear their point of view.
Was wollen Sie berichten hier? Weil Sie angefangen haben. Sie haben angefangen zu produzieren. Sie regen das Volk an.
I'm not any kind of racist. I'm not left and I'm not on the right side. So I'm just a natural one, and I just want to feel safe in my hometown again. That's why I'm here.
The populist anti-immigrant AfD, or Alternative for Germany party, seized the moment. They held a memorial procession for the German victims of migrant-related crime. The party's leader in Thuringia, Björn Höcke, at the front of that march. He was strongly criticised for the company he was keeping, marching alongside the anti-Islam Pegida group with neo-Nazis and skinheads further back. In last year's general election, the AfD shot into 3rd place, the first time in decades that a far-right party has made it into the parliament. Its leaders seem to make a habit of pushing the boundaries of what's acceptable to say in Germany. Höcke has called for a 180-degree reversal of the way the country sees its Nazi past. He was almost expelled from the party for it, but he wasn't. We're now in Thuringia's main city of Erfurt to meet up with him. This is where Martin Luther, father of the Reformation, studied and was ordained. Plans to build a mosque here have not gone down well. Pigs' heads were left at the site. It doesn't say much about how integration's working.
Nationalism and patriotism were thoughts and feelings which dared not speak their name in post-war Germany, and the decades of soul-searching which Germans went through to try and come to terms with their Nazi past. But that process happened far more in the former West Germany than it did here in the former East, which was cocooned in its communist shell and where contact with foreigners was few and far between.
No foreign faces at this AfD rally. It's an older crowd. Most people here would have grown up under communism. And Höcke is a big hit.
Hier, liebe Freunde, hier ist nicht Dunkeldeutschland, hier ist Blau-Deutschland, und in Bälde wird über ganz Deutschland wieder die Sonne aus einem blauen Himmel scheinen.
The AfD is strongest here in the east, cities like Chemnitz, Curtin and Erfurt. The narrative of preserving the homeland resonates, as does distrust of the press.
Von wo kommen Sie eigentlich?
Ja, wir sind von Sky News aus England.
Sky News?
Sky News.
Ah. Dann möchte ich vielleicht doch mal was sagen.
Okay.
Jegliche Kritik wird gleich in eine rechte Ecke gedrückt.
Ja, das meine ich ja.
Man wird gleich als Nazi diffamiert, und das sind wir nicht. Schauen Sie sich um. Das sind Familien, einfach nur besorgte Familien.
Höcke is unapologetic about who showed up in Chemnitz under the AfD umbrella.
Wir können bei einem Demonstrationszug mit 10.000 Teilnehmern, können Sie nicht sicher sein, wer dort alles mitgeht und wer nicht mitgeht. Das ist das Problem von solchen Umzügen. Aber wir müssen diese Umzüge machen, um als AfD wahrgenommen zu werden, weil wir leider auch von den Hauptstrummedien boykottiert werden.
But the voting public don't boycott them. In its 5 years of existence, the AfD has won seats in almost every state parliament in the land. And it's very likely it'll win seats in Bavaria and Hessen too, which hold elections this month. Which is why we've come to Munich. Angela Merkel's sister party, the Christian Social Union, looks set to lose its absolute majority. But it's not just the AfD which stand to gain. The Greens are also doing well on a pro-Europe, pro-immigration platform. Their candidate, Ludwig Hartmann, calls the AfD a danger to democracy.
Wenn wir uns die Entwicklung anschauen in Chemnitz, als dort die Demos waren, wo AfD-Mitglieder wirklich mit bekennenden Rechtsradikalen Reihe in Reihe durch die Straßen marschieren, die Wortwahl vom Höcke zum Beispiel, die ja wirklich völkerisch ist, die ja eine wahnsinnig hetzenden Unterton hat und der wirklich ja wieder möchte, dass sich Chancengerechtigkeit nicht mehr darin unterscheidet, wohin man möchte, sondern ganz klar, woher einer kommt, zu welchem Land er gehört. Und das ist für mich eine Zeit, in die möchte ich nicht mehr zurück.
This is the square where Hitler's propaganda minister, Joseph Goebbels, called on Germans to attack Jewish properties in Kristallnacht. It was Goebbels who coined the term Lügenpresse, or lying press, which has so caught on amongst the AfD party faithful. And the idea of scapegoating a minority, which the AfD has done with migrants, feels like it's straight out of the fascist playbook.
Since Chemnitz, there have been lots of calls for Germany's domestic intelligence agency, the Bundesverfassungsschutz, to monitor the AfD, that the party is using democracy to pursue undemocratic, unconstitutional goals. But so far the government says the criteria for monitoring the party as a whole have not been met.
Last month, the AfD walked out of the parliament en masse to protest accusations of extremism. But their connections with the extremist elements seem a little close for comfort.
Haben Sie Verbindung mit dem AfD?
Wir unterm Radar bin ich ganz froh, dass es viele AfD-Leute gibt, die auch mit uns kein Problem haben. Also warum auch? Ne?
Und mit Politikern auch?
Kann sein, ne?
Sie machen Sachen zusammen?
Kann sein, ne?
Kann sein oder
Kann
ist?
Sein. Kann sein, ne?
Vielen Dank.
Alles klar.
The AfD only came into being in 2013, originally as a Eurosceptic party. But in their 5 short years in existence, they've stirred up populist rage, shifted politics to the right, and emboldened the extremist fringes. An insidious presence whose reach spreads ever wider, right at the heart of German democracy.